join me for a brief presentation. $2.99.
That future starts right here, right now.
Ben, show me what you know. I am hungry. Feed us.
I'm proud to announce that we work with our partners at Activision.
That PlayStation 4 will be available at $399.
Oh my God! Yes! Phil! Y'all hear them Xbox in the crowd? Phil!
You're breathtaking. You're all breathtaking.
We were almost in that.
How does the saying go? Good things never last forever. It's true. It's true, man. And that is where we are with E3, man. E3 has officially caught the axe, is dead, put it in a coffin, bury it 6 feet deep. It's over. E3 is over, man. Kind of sad. You know what? I am kind of a little bummed, but am I shocked? No. I mean, we've seen this coming for years now. Like, E3, honestly, I feel like has not been this. I feel like the last time E3 was like actually worth a damn was what? Probably E3 2018. The few years they did it like afterwards, it never felt the same. It was all, it was like always like after the whole thing was over. Like I remember freaking people would hop on freaking Twitter or suckers would hop on Twitter or YouTube and be like, why the hell did they do an E3 this year? Like it like the whole magic and like that Super Bowl big event feeling that E3 used to have, it's been gone for quite some time, man. So am I a little sad that now it's like officially over? Yeah, man, I am, because E3, I feel like not only was it the biggest like game event for gamers around the world every June during the summertime, and we all looked forward to it. E3 drove a lot of us to, you know, meet each other. I'm sure some people went out and flew out to E3 and met like a lot of people that they were talking to on the internet because of E3. Like E3 brought a lot of us together. It did, man. One of the reasons why I even got on YouTube in the first place is because I remember, I don't know if it was like E3, it was during the E3 to where they were showing off Resistance 2. I don't remember which. It might have been E3 2008 or 2009, whatever year Resistance 2 dropped on PS3. And it was when they were showing that big I forgot the name of that the Leviathan. They were showing the intro to that boss in Resistance 2, but they were showing it at E3 on like the screen, and like it was so amazing at that time seeing a boss of that scale take up the whole screen. And I just remember being like, I'm gonna cover this one day. I'm gonna cover this one a day. And eventually I got into making YouTube vids. So a part of the reason why I even got into making YouTube was because of my love of E3. I think I officially started to cover it in like 2011. I think that was the first E3 I actually did a review for and was like covering it And you know, I was trying to find my like way into being like comfortable still on like camera, like a little bit. And some of my favorite E3 moments, man. Oh god, where do I even begin? I still feel like when I think of E3, the first thing my mind goes to is E3 2013, when Sony literally essentially killed Microsoft before the generation of PS4 and Xbox One even begun. Suckers was going crazy because Microsoft had just shown off the Xbox One, and it was going to have all of these restrictions, and like you couldn't use your Xbox One without the Kinect, and like all that stuff. And Suckers was like, where is gaming headed to? Sony, save us! And then Sony took the stage at E3 2013.
We're equally focused on delivering what gamers want most, without imposing restrictions or devaluing their PS4 purchases. For instance, PlayStation 4 won't impose any new restrictions on the use of PS4 gamers. They can trade in the game at retail, sell it to another person, lend it to a friend, or keep it forever. PlayStation 4 disc-based games don't need to be connected online to play. And it won't stop working if you haven't authenticated within 24 hours.
I ain't gonna lie, I'm getting cooked.
The whole crowd was going crazy, and then when he said, oh yeah, and to top it all off, the PS4 will be $100 cheaper.
Fatality.
It was like, I remember in E3 2015, one of the reasons why this E3 kind of sticks out to me is because I remember that was the summer that I quit my job. I was working at Target out of the time. I quit my job two weeks before E3 started. I was like, you know what? I don't know how this junk is going to work out, but come E3 2015, I'm doing this junk full time. I'm doing this junk full of time. I never made the announcement on my channel at that time because I felt like, I just felt weird trying to like come out and be like, hey guys, I'm doing this full of time now. So if you guys can watch all of my videos, that'd be great. I just kind of, I ain't want to come off like that. I was in a hotel out of that time because we were getting ready to move. So I'm like, there's too much going on at a home. I still wanted to cover E3. It was a fun time for me. It was like a big change in my life, trying to like pursue like a dream that I had of trying to do YouTube full of time and just like talk about the stuff that I'm passionate about. So E3 2015 sticks out to me. E3 2016, I mean, come on now. As far as just gaming related, E3 2016 is probably where E3 peaked. That year, if you were a PlayStation fan, mostly, again, Microsoft did have some good E3s like later once Sony had like pulled out. But like most of like the best moments of E3 is all when Sony was just destroying everybody. That's just the way it was. It's like that's not me trying to be a pony. That's just literally how it was. The best E3s is when Sony was coming hard with it. Their whole presentation at E3, they used to have the freaking orchestras going, the whole damn like intro. Like Sony was, they just really felt like magical. After E3 2016, I remember the next, 2 or maybe 3 years that followed, they all felt like E3 2016 was so good that like the next 2 or 3 all felt like they were recycled E3 2016, but nowhere near as good because we kept on seeing like the same games. And it was like, all right. Like, so even E3 really peaked at E3 2016, but E3 2017 and 18 was still good. It was just, they were just showing more from E3 2016. After E3 2018, which I think was that the last time that Sony was a part of E3? I don't remember if they were a part of E3 in 2019, but they pulled out soon after. Remember at that time, Sony was doing the whole E3 stuff. They just started doing their own it wasn't the whole state of play. This is before those trash behind state those state of plays came into play. They were doing PlayStation Experience, and they was doing that like in December. And I remember, I think it was in 2016, that's when they first showed the first trailer for The Last of Us 2. So like Sony was like, it got to the point with Sony that every time they were at an event and they had a showcase, people always expected like, Sony never escaped E3 2016 because they killed it so hard. After that, it was just like, people always wanted Sony to outdo the last showcase that they had. So, and I felt like Sony started to feel that because I think it was that, I don't know if it was PlayStation, if it was a PlayStation Experience or E3 2018, but I just remember Neil Druckmann and some other the people just sitting on they was just sitting on like a couch talking about, I think it was like Last of Us 2 or like, you know, the history of Naughty Dog. And this was, I think, at E3, and like we were all in chat or like watching, just like, okay, y'all are y'all gonna show some games and just freaking talk like this is a casting couch or something? Like, what the frick is going on? And I feel like Sony heard that and they were just like, hey, listen, we ain't gonna be able to, you know, live up to y'all expectations every freaking year, so we just gonna pull out. They started, you know, the whole state of play thing soon after, and, you know, the rest is history. But it was clear as soon as Sony pulled out at E3, it was never the same, period. You could be a Nintendo fan and with the whole Nintendo Direct stuff that they was doing, or Microsoft fan. You knew as soon as Sony pulled out of E3, anytime they had an E3 afterwards, it felt like this massive void was missing. This massive void that could not be filled was missing. Like, all of the excitement was gone. It didn't feel as special. It didn't feel like a big event no more. It never felt the same once Sony pulled out a E3. These are facts. Okay, y'all saying, oh, you just saying that because you these are facts. Go back and rewind the tapes. We had some years to where Microsoft, I think they came strong. I don't know what year we was getting so fed up of like E3 not being like good anymore. I don't know if it was E3. Microsoft was the whole star of the show, of course, because Sony is not there. And Microsoft, like, they did come strong at some E3s. It's not like Microsoft was trash at every E3. No, they weren't. They did. I think it was in also E3 2017 or 18 where Microsoft was like, they had show all of these new acquisitions that they had acquired that still to this day, we ain't seen none of them. We ain't seen like almost none of them new studios that they acquired. I think this was E3 2018 or 19. And I was like losing my mind, like, yo, this is a new start for Microsoft. This is a new start, right? Again, man, once Sony had like kind of backed out of it, it just never was the same, period. And I felt like they tried a few years after that, but the event didn't feel the same. The coverage of the event was not the same. It wasn't as entertaining to watch. It didn't feel as special. I remember E3 as a gamer, and especially as a content creator for as long as I've been doing YouTube. If you are a YouTuber and you talk about games, or you just play games and you're a fan of gaming, I felt like at one point E3 was on all of our bucket lists. I gotta go to E3 at least one time. I have to. Like, before I die, I need to go to one E3. That's how big E3 was. And it got to the point to where, like, I think I had but I don't talk to these guys no more. But we was like planning a trip to E3, and it had like got to a point where I'm like, man, so I'm like, man, I don't care about going to that junk, because they was trying to get me to, like, you know, hit up, like, I guess connect with some people, and, you know, because I, you know, do YouTube and stuff, I could be looked at as like an influencer or whatever. Like, that's how I could get in, because they didn't just like give out invitations to like whoever at E3. You had to have some type of pull or whatever. So but yeah, it like got to a point where I'm like, bro, I don't even care about hitting up these suckers. I don't want to be at E3. I don't care about being at E3. Who cares? Like, it got to a point where I'm like, bro, I'm fine with just streaming this junk from home and making money while doing it. Why the hell do I need to go to E3? The industry has changed. Like, a lot of these companies, you have to think about, they would have to fly out, get all this equipment and stuff, and, you know, pay for however much floor space that they was gonna, you know, show off their new games at this event. Freaking hotels, food, like all the expenses that they had to, you know, use during E3, they now, all they have to do is freaking stream it from their freaking offices or whatever, get a freaking green screen. like I feel like companies as well just started to be like, why do I need to show up to E3 to show off a game? Look what Rockstar does. Which the Rockstar still does his job to this very day. These suckers don't participate in nothing. It's just so easy to just, you know, kind of make up your own event. We all do it. You see it from freaking content creators, streamers, freaking influencers on Instagram or TikTok. Everybody is making their own content now. So why couldn't companies start to do that instead of wasting all this money every freaking June come E3? So I do feel like the industry itself started to go in a different direction, and yeah, it was just never the same, man. So yeah, it sucks. It does sucks a little bit, because again, like E3, when E3 was good, that's when gaming was like that's when gaming was peak. That's when gaming was cinema. That's when it was so great to be a gamer. But then when it did start to fall off, it was like, you know, why am I still watching these showcases, man? So yeah, I just wanted to do this is probably my last, I mean, not even probably, I don't see no reason to talk about E3 after this unless they bring it back from the dead or something. But since this will be my last time talking about E3, yeah, I appreciate all of the memories that this event was able to have for myself and many others out there. Thanks to Sony, Microsoft, Nintendo, EA, Ubisoft, all of the companies that was, you know, into E3 and would always try to, you know, show us something exciting every single year. You know, that's a tough job to do, but appreciate you guys for trying to do it. What do y'all think about E3 being officially done and gone with? What were some of your favorite E3 moments? What are some things that stick out to you when you hear E3? Leave all that and more down in the comment section below. Are you guys sad about E3 being done, or did you just not care no more because it's just, who cares? It's freaking E3. But yeah, y'all let me know y'all thoughts and comments down in the comment section below. Till my next video, my brothers and sisters, I'll catch y'all boys in my next one, all right?